What's a part of your day as a CEO that most people would find surprising?
So, no matter what happens in a day, I give a priority for sleep. A lot of people think that's something lost, but I'll give the most priority. I've been some days that I skip meetings because I didn't have enough sleep.
What's a mistake early in your career that shaped how you lead today?
Yeah, I used to be very emotional and very impulsive, and that I have worked hard to change to become very practical, and also give some time to settle the emotions.
What's one belief about leadership you've changed your mind on over time?
I have worked hard to change that every problem has two sides of the coin, and because when you are deeply involved in a situation, we tend to forget that there are two sides, and I always remind myself that hear and look at both sides of the coin.
How do you decide what deserves your attention and what doesn't?
So I think that's another thing that I have learned over time, that I look into what is ultimate goal of a task that I wanted to achieve, and whatever happens in between, that's not directly impacting. But there is a lot of noise around if you deal with any issue, challenge, work, task, personal, professional. And I try to get through the the noise and vape and just go through the straight point or the ultimate goal.
What's the hardest kind of decision for you to make as a leader?
I think this is probably a very simplest answer. To let people go, that's probably the hardest one, right? But then you have no choice to left over because business change, something else came up that you have to reprioritize the skills in the organization. Whatever happens, ultimately, if we have to let some people go, I think that's probably the hardest.
What keeps you motivated on days when things don't go as planned?
So this is something that I always have this compartmentalizer. So if something that one didn't go well, my belief is that shouldn't affect the other tasks that I've planned on the day. So I kind of compartmentalize. If that goes bad, that's only affect for that one, but they shouldn't affect the other tasks that planned in the day. So the compartmentalized mind, I think that really helped me.
What's a skill you're still actively trying to get better at?
Time management. It's something that I think I always felt that I can do better, but then I'm constantly finding ways to manage my time better.
What advice would you give someone stepping into leadership for the first time?
I think the time management is I just go back and also prioritize on what's the most relevant and then most important to whatever the leader have tasked given, and then try and overlook the noise, which is I think also involves a lot of emotions, drama, and all the stuff. But then you have to really get better at looking through those, and then ultimately pay attention to the ultimate goal. I think that makes them the leader.
Outside of work, what's something that genuinely helps you reset?
I'm always try to understand the society around. So like my activities, the CSR activities through in India, especially the Nigama Foundation. When you really look into some a kid situation or the school or something that I worked on it, so that will really give you a perspective that okay, what we have is somebody doesn't have. So I think that kind of resets their mind that life is just beyond the business and other things, but there's a lot of things that we can contribute. What I'm saying is it's not only always you try attain more, instead what else can we give it back. I think that really helps me, and I think that's something I'm very passionate about. The social responsibility and CSR, my foundation, all of that stuff.
And the coffee question. How do you take your coffee?
I think I'll take a black coffee mornings, maybe some milk, very little, no sugar, and then I like my masala ginger tea, milk ginger tea. I think those are the ones. I used to drink a lot more times in a day, but now I've kind of reduced to just one time a day.